The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan live in Arizona. Matt Perrault. We are here in Las Vegas, back in the homestead. Dave down about 4 hours to the south of us for another show for us at Boston versus the book, live on Twitter at Boston the book versus the book, live on YouTube, Sports Grid Replay. How are you? How's the heat, Dave? It looks like Arizona is starting to heat up a little bit.
Getting a little toasty, Perrault. I know it's coming north. We'll get there soon enough. We've had a wonderful, wonderful 2023. Apparently, it hasn't hit 100 degrees. It's already hit 100 degrees down here.
Oh, yeah.
There's grasshoppers all over the place. You know, they're coming that way, too. Otherwise, it's good. Yesterday, we had the pool shot. We had it set up. The music was booming. That waterfall was pumping. We said, you know what? Let's face the golf course that's behind us here. Sit in a little more shade. We'll be in shade the entire show is the way we set this up. So that's good. And, boy, there's a couple hot baseball teams that I'm sure we got to talk about as well today.
Chamber of Commerce type of shots. I went back and watched the show yesterday. I was like, man, if I was living in Arizona, or if I was like in Alaska, or I was in England or something watching the show, that shot yesterday made me want to move to Arizona. Like that shot today. Look at the sky behind you. The sky is gorgeous behind you right now.
Oh, it's perfect. There's a golf course right behind me called Wildfire.
I've played that course. I've played Wildfire.
Well, we're at Wildfire.
Nice.
That's a par 3 right behind us. And it's great. It's quiet. It's fun. And it shuts down early. We went to go get something to eat last night.
It's
off campus. Everything was closed at 9, and my kids were just getting started. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, so my aunt and uncle live in a palatial, legitimate compound in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And in North Scottsdale.
Yes.
And when I went to go visit them, there's two things I said I could never live here. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, one, how do you drive anywhere in the dark? Because it is so dark. There's
no street lights.
No street lights. It's they call it light pollution. They don't allow anyone to have lights. So it's so dark. And then secondly, everything closes at 8:00. Like everything.
Everything.
Like, what are we doing? She's like, oh yeah, no, restaurants done, movie theaters done. Like no one goes out past 9:00 living in Arizona. I was like, yeah, I would go crazy. Like, nope, it's not for me.
I lived here first before I moved to Vegas. And when I got to Vegas, you know, you realize, wow, everything's open all the time. And you get used to it. Been there 20 years. You know, we come down to visit and the kids are on still Vegas time. I got Vegas kids. And you know, Maddie runs, you just expect world-class entertainment every time you go.
Yeah.
Restaurants, whatever type of food you want, about 15 minutes in any direction from your house. It's a little bit different here. It's a very, very different experience, but it's nice. It's fun. It's good.
We are so blessed. I mean, there are such, you don't fully understand Vegas. And I'm so happy that my daughter is spending 17 days in New England because I'm going to get this, you know, she every once in a while will have this line of like, I want to live in Boston or why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? I can't wait when she asks me for something and I'm going to go, see? You think that's everywhere. You think this is normal. You think you can get whatever you want, whenever you want it, however you want it. Because in Vegas, you snap the finger and we can get anything at any time, whenever we want it. And other parts of the country just simply aren't like that. It doesn't exist like that. So yes, we are. I mean, people have often said like, where do you want to live? You know, where do you want to go? I'm like, after living in Vegas, I don't know if I can live anywhere else. The weather's perfect. I mean, we have sunshine 295 days a year, basically, if
something
not more.
Like that. I think it's more. I think it's 320.
Okay,
220 is the
320
number out
days
of
a year, sunshine.
365. Yeah.
Average temperature is 75 to 80 degrees. If you take everything, condensing it down,
Right.
we deal with very little weather, very little. We
Right.
don't have hurricanes, we don't have tornadoes, we don't have earthquakes. We have no sales tax. I mean, we have no income tax.
Right.
There's a lot of really cool things about living in this town.
No doubt. And Arizona's not far behind. It's hotter here, though.
100%.
I lived here. It's hotter here. The summer's
There's more money
longer
there
here.
too. There's more money there too.
And there's this monsoon season that really happens here every year. It gets those crazy rains because it's right, at sea level.
Yeah.
The views in the distance are great, but right where Phoenix and Scottsdale and, even down to Gilbert and all those places, it's pretty flat. It gets that hard rain. But you're right. I mean, listen, Chamber of Commerce Day, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it looks nice. So, okay, so let's talk about what happened last night. You mentioned a little bit on the hot baseball teams here. Joey Votto returned with a bang for the Cincinnati Reds. They have now won 9 consecutive games here. Not a bad way to bring back your face of your franchise to come back. And it was the 4th time in his career that he's come back off the DL, IL, whatever you want to call it, and hit a home run in the first game coming off of the injured list. So he clearly, when he gets some rest, Joey Votto comes back, and he's a tough guy to get out.
It's got to be fun for the veterans to come back to a team with a lot of young guys and a lot of good energy. Walks in, they're on an 8-game winning streak, and hits a bomb. I mean, it's fun to see. Joey Votto is a great. He just decided to get on social media. He's fun to follow. He does what Joey Votto wants.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the fun part of once you get to a certain point in your life and you're able to just basically not give a caca about any of it. You know what I mean?
Well, he stayed though, right? I mean, he has chosen to make the Reds. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. Right. Numerous trade deadlines. He could have walked in and said, trade me. This is a guy with, he's on the back 9, but 2-3 years ago, he could have brought a pretty big haul back for the Reds if they wanted to move him. Yeah. And he said, no, I'll re-sign here. I want to play here. And when you have a franchise like that, that's been really bad with one good player who says, I'm staying. And if things go well for the Reds this year, not that Votto needs any more of a, folklore status with the Reds fans, but I mean, my gosh, he becomes, this is now win 1 for Joey. This is win 1 for the old guy.
That galvanizes a team. It brings something that they don't have or need at the right time. It's a perfect thing for the Reds. It's not good for the NL Central other teams because now you put his bat in there and all of a sudden we got a realistic chance to win this thing.
The books don't think so.
No.
After 9 straight wins, the Reds are still over 4-1 to win the division, not make the playoffs, win the division.
You got to get the money. You don't move on hope. You got to take the bets and then move the number if you're doing it right. So it's not like you walk into the risk room today and say, you know what, the Reds are on a 9-game winning streak, lower the number. You're waiting to take the bet, ideally, because it's still theoretically up for grabs. It is only June 20th, right? That's the date.
They're the 3rd option.
Behind Milwaukee and
hold on. I think it might be, is it your Pirates? It's behind
the second option now.
It's the Central first. Cubs are the second option.
The Cubs have better odds now than the Reds.
Plus 150
getting hot, right?
Plus 115 on Milwaukee, plus 350 on Chicago, and plus 440 on the Reds.
As much of a result of what's going on the field, as much of a result as to who bets this stuff and how much they bet it.
Okay.
There's Cubs money from preseason. The Cubs were one of the buzz teams. Season wins over, live to win the division. Got off to a terrible start. And so now their number gets adjusted down quicker because there's already money on them. There's nobody that thought the Reds were going to win a division before the season. Well,
I think some people thought there was a chance that they called up the kids, that these kids could make it for a fun summer. But you're right. I don't think anybody thought they realistically were going to win the division. I still don't think they're going to win the division. I think they're just hot. unless they make some blockbuster trades for pitching. I mean, they're in a launching pad of a ballpark, and we haven't gotten to July or August yet.
Right.
And we're going to see a lot of runs being scored at the Great American Ballpark this summer.
Building a little bit. I mean, the kid they called up that went to Louisville, a homegrown talent, begins with an A. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's pitched well. Listen, there are teams in the past that have scored enough runs to stay competitive. You can win games just as easily 8-7 as you can 3-2. I mean, they're an over team.
Sure.
They're electric. They steal bases. They do a lot of things offensively that are going to keep them in games until they run into, super 1-2 pitching stats. An ace and a second ace.
But they're still. I mean, they still have a negative run differential, even in first place. Yeah. I mean, they're half a game up on the Brewers right now. They're 3 games up on the Pirates. They've won 9 straight games, and they still have a negative 18 run differential. So that's a big problem for them. They're 38-35. They're a season high 3 games over 500. Votto back is big. They've, Cardinals, Royals, Astros, Rockies. Not a horrible run to run through these teams. The Astros might have been the most shocking of sweeping them on the road,
right.
beating Houston. But I mean, their pitching staff, Hunter Green's on the IL, Ashcraft is on the IL. I mean, they need some help here. They need some starting pitching, but they could be buyers, and that's the first time in a long time the Reds could be legitimate buyers here in July, trying to add pitching, trying to add 1 or 2 stud guys who come in and help them out for the rest of the year.
It's pretty crazy that I went to Cincinnati for the first time this year and picked up the City Connect just because I was there with Brother Doug, and he's here now, and hopefully he's going to come over here soon. You guys will get a kick out of that. I'm going to have Brother Doug sit down on the show. It'll be kind of like looking at twins a little bit.
You know what you should do?
What?
Does he have a phone? He has a phone, right?
Yeah.
He have headphones?
Yeah.
We'll put him on the show as a 3-shot. Just send him the link.
Do you know how to do that?
Uh-huh.
All right.
It'll be you wouldn't even need you won't even need to have the shot. The
he can be over by the pool. He can be facing the pool shot.
Correct.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Brother Doug, I know you're walking around listening, trying to get. He gets nervous.
Oh.
He did the show with me, or he did the pirate thing with me this morning. It was hilarious. It's going to run tonight on the Pirate pregame. But yeah, get situated, Doug, and then come over here. And I'll give you Perrault's number.
Text him the link, and then you can go ahead and hop in.
Well, I can't do anything right. Oh, I did text him the link, actually. I texted him the link to the StreamYard.
Oh, if he's got,
tell me what to do.
If he's got your link, I just need him to come in the back come into the green room, and I can put him right up, and we can have a 3. That's the best way of doing it, because then he can actually talk. Otherwise, he's going to be leaning over your shoulder trying to get into the shot. It's going to look weird.
Okay.
If he wants to actually appear on the show, we can definitely put him. We can actually put your brother on the show. Speaking of hot teams, the Marlins destroyed the Blue Jays last night, 11-0, and we have since 2000.
He didn't get 2. He didn't get 3. He didn't get 4. He went 5 for 5.
So Arez becomes the first hitter to be batting 400 this late into the season since 2008. It's been a long time. Chipper Jones was the last time.
Can a guy hit 400 in the Major League Baseball today?
I don't believe he's going to hit 400 because it's so difficult to stay up there. Because if you go through any type of slump, you go 2 for 10, and it could just knock you straight off of it. But
you go 3 for 10, which is 300. Your average drops.
Right, you have
You got to get up over like 410, 412, and then take those. 1 for 4s, 1 for 5s, 2 for 5s, and kind of average them down. This is impressive as hell to me. This is one of those things that, like, we talk about so many baseball records that are just not really possible to break. I think this would be a tremendous thing for baseball if he did it. This would be great, wouldn't it?
We haven't had one of these, right? Like, the consecutive games played streak with Cal Ripken will never get touched. Like, it's just no one's ever touching that. It's that record's gone. The home run record has so much dark clouds around it that it's not even something that, we watched Judge last year, but everybody, there's just whispers, right? It's, how did you, hitting 400, this is considered, the holy grail of baseball. To have somebody doing this in September would be unreal. The drama on this would be insane. It would be awesome for the Marlins, be awesome for the National League. And look, this Marlins team right now, I have that ticket over 76.5 wins, and it's trending nicely at the moment for the Marlins to get there. I mean, they should win 80-plus games, and they're going to be a team worth paying attention to if they keep on hitting like this. I mean, that was the knock. We know they can pitch. Can they score? And they're scoring runs right now.
Yeah. Do the Marlins have to be in it for him to do it?
No, but I mean, look, they're 30-1 to win the NL East, 15-1 Phillies, minus 1450 for the Braves. Pretty much, are guaranteed to get there. But for the Marlins to win the National League, no one's even giving them a shot in the dark. They're 35-1 to win the pennant.
Wasn't that long ago, 2019, the Nationals had a losing record around now.
Right.
Even
and then
to
went
the
off.
All-Star break.
Yeah.
And won
the World Series.
Mm-hmm. So it's possible, highly unlikely with the pitching staff. I mean, we talked about it so many times with Sandy. He's not pitching well.
But the dude they got going today, though, woo, baby. I love the young kid they got throwing today.
Who is?
The Perez kid.
Oh. Are they big favorites today?
No. Well, at least not when I bet them last night. They aren't.
Okay.
They were slight favorites today against a reeling Blue Jays team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out, but Yuri Perez is 4-1 with a 1.80 ERA, 20-year-old, 6'8", 220-pounder, but he's got psychotic movement. ERA at home is 1.84. ERA on the road is 1.77.
Right.
I mean, the Marlins' road record has been one of the more stunning things this season, is that they've played really well at home and they played really well on the road. I mean, they have a winning record on the road for the first time in forever, and they're 22-13 at home. I mean, if Perez, he's 25-1 to win the MVP. If they win the division, or we even win a wild card, can you give a guy MVP who hits 400?
I think if he hits 400, he doesn't he win the MVP? Whether they win the Central or win the East or not.
If he's contributing
I'm not
every
looking
night.
At my odds screen. What's the top 4 guys right now
for the MVP?
League? Yeah, for the MVP.
National League MVP is Acuna Jr. minus 130.
He's minus money.
Corbin Carroll, the rookie, 5-1. Freddie Freeman, 7-1. Mookie Betts, 25-1.
And then
Perez is 25-1.
Wow. I mean, that's the guy hits 400. He's getting it. And they make the playoffs. He's getting it.
It's a decent bet here in June for 25-1. It's a decent bet.
It's going to give you, if he keeps it up, it's going to give you a nice sweat. Acuna's going to win it. The Braves are tremendous. And
they are.
He's the best player. Stays healthy. Puts up all the numbers. He's the betting favorite. But what a story this guy would be. And I mean, this is a big disparity between one, a small minus money. Second guy's another rookie, right? Carroll's a rookie.
Yep.
I mean, tremendous season. He's earned that spot. Then it's the Dodgers, because everything is about the Dodgers. I wore the Dodgers stuff today because the Dodgers are the West Coast Yankees, where it's that focused on everything. And then it's this guy. This is worth a flyer. Do you think so?
I think so. For 25-1, I think right now, with what he's doing, it's June. The country really hasn't bought in yet. They really haven't paid attention yet to the Marlins being a serious team. And if they stay in contention, if they stay in a wild card contention, which they should, I mean, at 25-1, why not? It's a value play.
Is this the same situation, though, like where you're in the American League East and you can't win the division? Your only path in for the Marlins is the wild card.
But
They're
that's
not catching
fine,
the
though. I
Braves.
mean, the Marlins won the World Series playing out of the wild cards before.
Oh, you
So,
can
I mean,
win a
it's-
World Series
Yeah.
playing out of the wild card.
So let them run. Like, let that
That's
dog
fine.
run. Hey, Braves,
Right.
go. Like, run out there. Win the division by 15 games. We don't care. As long
Right.
as we get in, there's one bye. Okay, the Braves will get the bye. That's phenomenal. But everybody else you're going to be competing with have to play that 3-game series. So, and you're going to throw, if Alcantara can get his head out of his butt and actually start pitching the way he's supposed to,
Right.
you got a 1-2 punch with Perez and Alcantara. Like, you can stack that up against anybody in the National League.
Right.
And if you have home field, Marlins are great at home. I think people are sleeping on the Marlins. I really do. I think people are sleeping on where they are. I think they're better than people think.
Yep.
Their offense is coming to life, and this is the big. We knew they could pitch, but how many games last year did they win? 2-1, 3-2. They are leading I think it's still Major League Baseball in 1-run victories this year.
I think you're right.
So
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you could say, well, Matt, that's going to come back to bite them in the second half of the year. I'm not going to debate that, but right now, I mean, the Marlins in 1-run games this year, they're 18-5 in 1-run games.
It's pretty
unbelievable.
good.
That's unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
by comparison, the Twins, who lead the Central in the American League, they're 7-13. The Rays, who have the best record in baseball by a ways, they're 13-13 in 1-run games.
Wow.
And the Marlins are 18-5 in 1-run games.
See, that makes me nervous.
Sure.
That will get so much closer to 500 as the season goes on. You're going to lose those games.
Maybe.
I don't know. The
maybe
National
not.
League the National League wild card is going to be the competition of the summer. We're
It's
going
gonna
to
be
keep
awesome.
an eye on that. It's going to be so good, I think, all the way through late September. We're going to go.
Yeah.
This is going all the way to the end of the season, which I absolutely love. I think, again, baseball's done things wrong in the past. This is one of the things I think is excellent.
Yeah, I would agree. It keeps it really interesting. So your Pirates last night made the debut of Hammer and Hank.
Yeah.
Came in with a double.
Yeah.
But your Buccos lost 7 straight. What is going on in Pittsburgh? They're only 3 games back. They lost 7 straight. That's remarkable.
That's a relief.
Yes.
Okay. But it's Brewers. It was Cubs, Brewers, and now Cubs. This is not the time to go on these losing streaks against the teams in your division right there in the standings with you. So, I don't know. Dogs again today. I'm not overly excited about the prospects for today because Stroman, he's been good. The Hank thing was cool. I mean, Hank Davis, a highly touted guy, number 1 pick, plays catcher, plays right field. They put him in right field yesterday. He got a double. Even our friend Chris Mack came in and said, he tweeted at me and asked me about the number for him to hit a home run in his debut. Wasn't a bad number. Got a double. Great. I don't know, man. We got to get some more runs. This is the first order of business. Got to score more runs. Got shut out again yesterday. Shake them up, Bucks. Like it's an old saying, beat them, Bucks. Something's got to be shaken up. You still don't consider them a serious contender, though, right? Like
I haven't all year. I don't believe that they are a serious contender.
Ridiculous.
Well, I know you get mad at me, but I told you
I'm not mad at you. You're right.
This streak was coming. I thought this losing streak was they overperformed in April, and now they're coming back down to earth. And one of the problems, you bring up a kid like this, your number 1 pick from 2021.
Yeah.
You want him to be around winning culture. Like there's that fear of you don't want to bring up a kid like this and have a constant, hanging in your head after the game over and over again, because losing streaks stink. You start to get really frustrated with them.
But Brother Doug's over there. Hey, did you get the link? You don't have the link? Figure it out. I sent it to you a text, and then just hit the StreamYard button.
He needs Safari on his phone.
Yeah, you have to have Safari on your phone. Type your email address, and then take your glasses. He's got his sunglasses on. You can't see. It's unbelievable. This is going to be great. Make sure you set up the shot nice, too. Just get,
Smarter to you.
Oh, you're definitely smarter than me. There's no doubt about that. He's going to come on the show and tell everybody how great he is, better than me and everything.
Right.
Part of being the little brother. You know how that goes.
Uh-huh. So we'll see how he comes on. Yeah, once he's in the green room, we'll bring him on. But I mean, what is the expectation for this kid though? I mean, this is pretty quick. This is fast to have a guy come up this quickly.
Desperate for offense. He's supposed to bring instant offense, quality at bats. Position of need is catcher. They're getting 0. The problem is he lacks the major league level catching defensive ability. So they throw him out in right field, which takes away at bats from Zawinski, from Kutch, because sometimes he has to DH. Kutch is playing right field or DHing. So now it becomes a balance. How do we get him in the lineup? I don't know. There was people texting me yesterday. They're like, you think he should be playing right field? He can't play catcher. Not right now. You throw this young kid in there with a pitching staff that's
right. Already.
You mess up everything.
Right.
So, they got to trust him to get behind the plate. And it's not time yet to throw him in. So, I don't know. He just looked over. Now something's going on with Perrault. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. He's not
doing something.
He's not in the green room. So
he's working on something.
Once he comes in the green room, we can put him on. But he's got to click the link and come in the green room, and then we can. All he's got
to do is click the link and come in the green room.
Yeah.
See if he can figure this out. He's really smart.
If you haven't done it before, it can be a little bit. It can be a little bit tricky. College World Series going on right now. We have TCU and Oral Roberts double elimination day happening today in Omaha for the College World Series. It's currently 1-0 TCU, top of the 4th against Oral Roberts. Loser of that game gets sent home. But then the later game tonight is LSU and Tennessee. I need Tyler or someone to tell me who is starting for the LSU, for both teams. Who's starting? Because if the Vols are throwing their number ones, and if LSU throws their number one, you got to take LSU to win today.
Speaking of deuces, I got my guy Butchie, an LSU guy, watching right now.
Okay.
And you can put it in the chat, sir, who's starting, because he's down south running the joint. Nice. I know he knows the number, and I know he's biased. He's one of them LSU guys. I love
he can, but he can be biased. I mean, that's fine. I mean, LSU is this starting pitcher that they've got is ridiculous. He throws 100 consistently. Like you can't hit him. Like he should be in the big leagues. He's going to get drafted top 3 coming up here in the upcoming draft.
Might be a pirate. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Pirates are the first pick of the draft. They made the joke that, good luck in Pittsburgh. Like they were like, you're going to go to Pittsburgh. If I were the Pirates, I would put this kid in the bullpen immediately.
Bring him up and in.
Just run him right out of Omaha, put him right up, stick him right in. I wouldn't. He can come in and throw 100 miles per hour and get you 3 outs a night. Just get him into a relief situation. Just get him used to it, because you can't teach 100. It's ridiculous. It's easy 100 he's throwing.
I love the free and easy gas. That always works until that elbow goes. But you feel like you got away with one yesterday with the Tennessee?
Of course, 100%. They're down 4-0. It was their biggest comeback of the season. They hadn't scored 4 runs in an inning all year, basically. I think it was like once. Their offense is not built like that. They scored 4 runs, and then they got 2, and then they scored the extra run. The 6th run was a passed ball or wild pitch. So, yeah, extremely fortunate. But, I mean, I have a 10-1 on Tennessee, and I have a 4.5-1 on LSU. So, I'm going to bet that LSU, it was minus 115 today. If they're throwing the ace kid, I'm going ahead and taking LSU tonight. I'm just waiting. The game's at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific time. I'm just waiting to see the officials. It's difficult. It's weird because, like, in elimination games in Omaha, they don't always say who's pitching right away. Like, they don't totally tell you, like, this is who's starting.
They don't know.
Right.
I mean, that's the reality of it. Like, it's like sometimes they legit got to be like, we're going to warm up a couple and see who's really, gassed up or loose or whatever. I mean, this is like, we take it for granted because we just watch the games on TV and that's it. Like, this is a long run. multiple cities and regionals, super regionals, and now to Omaha. These guys have thrown a lot of innings. There's a lot of pitching going on. You got to find that who's one, maybe the best, but two, who's the healthiest? Who am
Paul
I going to give the
Skeens.
ball to?
Yeah, this Paul Skeens kid, how you say his name, is ridiculous. I mean, he's going to set the record for the most strikeouts in a single season today if he pitches in SEC history. Ben McDonald has 202 strikeouts in a season. This kid's got 200 so far. I mean, he's 10-2. He went into the College World Series with 167 strikeouts over 90 innings. I mean, it's just it leads the nation in strikeouts per 9, in WHIP, most wins by any pitcher in the SEC. I mean, this dude is just ridiculous. Like, it's just not even fair with how dominant he is as a pitcher.
Right.
And if he goes today for LSU, I'm taking LSU. Like, you can't bet against.
What's the line right now?
It was minus 115 this morning. It was minus 115, minus 105. But I couldn't find which pitcher was being announced.
Is LSU the home team?
Are
they at the bottom?
I think LSU is, because they're the lower seed. So I think LSU is the home team.
Okay.
But I'm not positive that which team is trying to pull.
So this is an elimination game.
Yeah, loser this game goes home. It's now it's up to minus 125 now.
That's
for
that
LSU.
Sounds like the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like the side.
So I'll probably be taking LSU today. It's not too pricey to take that with minus 125. 11's the total. I would lean towards the under in that game. For that one. But I'm psyched to watch that. That's the one game I'm really excited to watch today, is LSU and Tennessee.
Is the other game going on right now?
Right now, 1-0 TCU
over Oral Roberts.
Yep, and loser of that game goes home.
Wow.
Wake Forest yesterday beating LSU 3-2. It's remarkable how many of these games have come down to one-run games. I mean, people in Omaha are getting treats. Like, these aren't blowouts. These are hard-fought, tight baseball games. Unders have been extremely profitable here in the College World Series. We haven't seen monster scores, 10-9 type baseball games.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been really
compelling to watch, even if you're not a college baseball fan, if you're just a baseball fan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was talking about it with Nephew Owen and Coop, and we were, Brother Smoke. We were just kind of watching baseball in the background while we were doing all this other stuff, texting, and then talked about it later. It's fun. And, I mean, Omaha looks like it's been pretty excited, active. Like,
always.
The crowds have been great.
Always. Yeah, that's typical. Yeah. Omaha always sells out. The weather's been cooperative. It's been humid, but it has not been really thunderstorming and really nasty. So that's been a benefit. There's been a couple of weather delays in Omaha, but nothing. I remember a couple of years it was like every single day, and the afternoon game was getting rained out or delayed, and it's a real bummer because
that lightning comes up out of nowhere and stuff.
Well, it's tornadoes. I mean, it's not just lightning. It's you got to be careful for a variety of things. The winds come up, and it comes, the pop-up thunderstorm and the pop-up tornado is legit at the time of the year in Omaha. So you got to be careful. And that's often a problem, but we haven't had too many weather delays, which has been really, really nice. And look, LSU and Tennessee having fan bases like that in Omaha is unbelievable. Like, who gets to the College World Series so often dictates how fun it is to be a part of it because of the fans. And SEC fans show out. They come up and they party, they tailgate, they just take it over. And they built the ballpark downtown. Rosenblatt used to be a little bit outside of town, but there was more tailgating going on at Rosenblatt than there is now in downtown Omaha, where the ballpark sits now. And it makes a lot of sense because they wanted it in the bars and whatnot. But like, I'm stunned at how much orange and how much purple and yellow I'm seeing in the stands. It's super fun.
Right.
It makes for a really cool. Did you see the error that the kid in left field made yesterday?
I did not see it. I read about it. I haven't seen
bad.
The video yet.
I mean, it just happens. The sun is really a difficult thing to see, and the kid lost in left field, and that's what led to 2 runs. Really, the only 2 runs that LSU got in that game, and then lost the game 3-2. So if LSU wins today, they got to beat Wake Forest twice. They got to beat them tomorrow and beat them again the next day to get to the College World Series Championship Series, and that's going to be really hard to pull up. We're going to do a double. Your mic's not going to work, bud. This is gonna be bad.
Put your earpiece in. Stand right there. Lean in closer to me. Just figure it out. My gosh. So you can figure out the other thing. Look in the camera.
Can I do that? Can I do
bigger?
can I do that? Can I switch around?
There you go. Can you do that? I don't know. Can you hear Perrault?
It makes it a little easier.
What's up, Perrault?
What's going on, bud? How are you?
Why didn't you come down? You could have come down and hang out with us.
I could have. I had stuff I got to do, man. This is someone's got to stay here and work.
I'm off. I'm taking time off.
Yeah.
Someone's got to work for this show. You know, Dave got
got
to go do the
R&R.
R&R.
Make sure all this works, like setting it up.
He is the machine.
You can't even figure out how to set up with
You
with
sent
the
me a
link.
link just to create an account, not
Create
to the
an
actual
account.
show.
It's the actual show.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Perrault, can you
Yes.
text me a link?
Sure.
okay.
Does he have my number?
I don't think I do.
No,
I'll text it. Oh,
Right.
wow. Skeens can't pitch today. It's Coleman for LSU. Oh, that changes everything.
What does that mean?
He can't pitch today. Wow. Now it changes my bet. Now I don't know. Huh. Thank you for that. Whoever just texted me. I think that was Tyler who sent me that text.
Okay.
Yep, that was Tyler. Okay, Tyler. Wow. It's Coleman or
So
Cooper
stop
for
on.
LSU. Wow, that's
Okay.
that's a big difference with Nab Skeens pitching. Okay, so you don't have the big gun going for LSU. They got a couple of really good pitchers still, but that's a big drop down. Tennessee is live to win this game today. Whoa, how about that? My 10-1 might not be dead on that.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, how are you? What's going on? Are you guys golfing on this trip at all or no?
No.
No, it's 100 here. I would never golf.
You would never
love
golf
to golf.
in that?
No, I tried it one time on Labor Day weekend. I thought I was going to die.
Would
Can't
you?
do
I
the
mean,
heat.
yeah,
I
but the
made the-
humidity.
We made the turn at 9, and they said we're going to keep. I said nope, I'm done.
Yeah. So.
But I would love to, but no, not this time of year. I don't golf in
Lean closer to me
Phoenix.
so we can see. There we go. That's it. Get close. Come
So
on.
we're just having. Yeah.
It's you really hot.
Is
yeah,
is
I
the
wear a
bucket hat a
black
Sharapan thing? Is that a Sharapan family thing?
We
We like
you've
them.
always had bucket
Yeah,
hats.
we like them. No,
Yeah,
With
doubt.
the bucket
I
hat?
wonder if those viewers think we look alike.
I don't know. Take your.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, a little.
We both went like this, clean.
Oh, you definitely look alike. Okay, yeah. There you
a
go.
little bit,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you definitely look alike. 100%.
So
That's right.
What are you doing?
Sorry,
You
I
almost
dropped
pulled
my key.
God, I almost ripped my ear.
Just hanging out all week, Matt. This is vacation summer for me.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Take it. You enjoying
Tell-
the fam?
Tell them how good the Reds are. You saw the Reds in person.
Ritz. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good night.
That was a really good night.
That was a
Yeah,
fun
you had a
game.
good day. We had a good report. Everything was good.
Yeah.
What time did your kids go to sleep last night?
Oh, it was late. We were up late, telling stories, laughing,
Oh man.
and
Tell him what you told me how this show works. Like why the dynamic works. What does he provide? You said he keeps it on the guardrails or he keeps it on
the rails.
keeps everything on the rails.
Well, not only does he keep
very true.
you on task,
Yes.
but he's the machine behind all the, runs
Makes it look
smooth,
like this.
sounds good.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You
Does
wouldn't
it-
know how to tie your own shoes to try to run a
No,
show
it
like
works.
this.
I mean, it absolutely, because I
It's-
do a lot of the things that Dave doesn't want to do, and Dave does a lot of things that I don't want to do.
That's
So it
why.
works.
That's what I said. It's a good
Yeah.
pair because
Oh, yeah.
you seem to be very good at that thing, and he's
Yep.
good at being Mr. Personality. I call him.
Correct. It's phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
it works even better when we go out. When we go out, it's great because I just let him go be the mayor, and I don't have
Yeah,
to worry about it.
That's right.
he can
He's
go
the
do and
greatest
talk to
mayor
people,
ever.
and I don't need to talk to anybody. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk. I don't really want to talk to everybody. I just do it because I have to do it, and Dave goes and takes care of it, and it's all great, and it works. It's a win-win.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I joke that I have come talk to me and tattooed on my forehead.
Pretty much.
He doesn't care that he wants people to come talk to him.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. He needs it like oxygen. Like if he doesn't get it,
Yeah.
he doesn't get that interaction, he has a problem. He starts to crave it.
You know Jess and the girls. I don't say nothing in my house. You know that, right?
Well, you zin and zang what you say. That's what
We
you
zing and zang, but there ain't no zinging when I zang. They don't come back. It's sometimes they don't like it. So we told some good stories yesterday. We met a waitress named Patience at the restaurant.
What type of restaurant were you guys at?
We went to the clubhouse.
Her name is Patience.
No, it wasn't that. Listen, get your mind out of it.
We're in Twin Peaks. Where are we going here? Patience?
No.
Hooters? Like
we went to dinner. We were all supposed to go. Who doesn't show up for dinner?
Dave.
The Sharapan.
They're sleeping and they're.
We were running late.
So we ate without them.
Right.
And then they met up with us later. But
their middle name should be
I
late.
asked her.
Dave's middle name should be late. Dave Late Sharapan.
Oh.
One of our best all-time stories was I drove to school.
I knew you were going to say that.
This was true. You can verify it right now.
It is true.
I was the senior.
Yeah.
No, I was a junior. Brother Dan was a sophomore, sophomore.
Dave,
freshman.
hold on. Please put the earpiece in your other ear. Dave, other ear. There you go. Yeah, just like that, because it's going across your face.
Yeah. See how
this is an IQ test. This is something you do with an IQ test as to whether or not you know it's true.
Anyhow, he was in middle school and we're driving. It was absolutely freezing. It was like January, late January, cold, 5 degrees outside. The car is not even warm. We're driving to school and I have to drop him off at the middle school. Now, every day I drop him at the steps, right, so he can run right in. But I'm running late. So I drop him at the corner because I don't want to get detention because I know I'm close to getting detention or CAF duty. So I say, listen, we're driving. Get out of the car. He said, what are you talking about? It's freezing. Get out of the car. Me and Dan got to get to school because Brother Dan would kill me if I got him late. So I could figure I could let Doug climb up this little hill with slush, sleet, and snow to get to school.
Corner. You make it sound like it was literally, that was like 4 or 5 blocks.
It was far. I left him out.
In the cold, in the freezing cold.
Yeah. And he was like Ralphie. I put him, he's all bundled up. And he was still, it was terrible.
And it wasn't just that one time. He used to do this because he was, the
always
point
late.
of the story was, he was the last one to get out of bed.
Yes.
And get ready.
Shocker.
And alarm would go off at least 5 times. Snooze.
I didn't know we were doing this.
Shocker that you're a snooze button guy. Of course he's a snooze button guy.
I used to be the worst. With the stroke, now I get right up. Thank goodness. That was one of the things that fixed everything.
Not only did you snooze it, but then you wouldn't wake up to the snoozes, and either me or Brother Dan would have to go in and
100%.
shut the alarm
100%
off because it was still going.
100% fact. This is all 100% true. So, yeah, that was one of them. But, we're enjoying time here. He came in from Ohio. His niece, my niece and nephew, Kate and Crosby, are here.
Nice.
We had 8 kids ages 19 to 9. All the nieces and nephews together. Big game of sorry last night. Got kind of heated, but it was fun. And then the Uno game broke out. And we were sitting out telling stories, just laughing, hysterical.
Late night.
It was over 2:30 in the morning. I think we left Brother Smoke and Aunt Dina's house. So it was fun. But look, you're on the show. You got to play for him today or what? Pirates game. What are we going with?
We went under.
Pirate game under today.
Pirate game under.
And I'm on the over-unders. I'm 2 for 2.
You are. He's undefeated so far on Pirate game totals. He's 2 for 2. So if you need a play, it's worth a shot. Under, you like it still?
Yeah.
I mean, are the kids here yet?
No.
All right.
The Pirates today went under 8. Yes, like the 8. They froze. You got to come back. Dave froze. Wow, how about that? Dave froze. Let's see if Dave
we
could
froze.
there we
go.
go.
We're
now
back.
You're back.
Okay. All right, tell everybody in the brigade.
In the brigade. Nice meeting everybody.
You too.
If you need me to come back, I'll come
What's
back.
your Twitter handle?
Pittsburgh Lion.
At Pittsburgh Lion.
At Pittsburgh Lion. We'll do this in person at some point in the very near future. We'll make
he's coming to Vegas, baby. He's coming to the next Vegas one.
Yeah,
we'll make this.
Hey, and you want to see my tan lines on my feet or take a picture of the chair I'm sitting in?
Wow. Inside joke. Inside joke. Whether you know that, that's an inside joke. You gotta
No,
get
you're
that.
not.
Nobody's looking at my feet.
Nobody's
looking at your
those
feet.
dogs.
No,
Come
no,
on.
that's very true. No one is looking.
Nobody's looking at your face.
Nope. I'll
I
give you that.
swear.
Nope. Not if Sydney's around, but that's a heck of a nice little reference there. It's gonna be a running joke as to
He's been
Who's
asking me
he?
for Sydney's number for weeks. It's only been 2. He says every day.
do I have
Get
Sydney?
Sydney
I think
back
I
on the
no.
show.
Did I get no? I not her number. I got somebody else's number on that day.
Oh.
Not her number. Not her number.
Oh.
The other
Oh.
one.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, because I was sending pictures to people, so it wasn't like
Oh,
it wasn't that
oh,
type of
oh,
getting the
oh.
number. It was just to just share content that they wanted for their Instagram. That I was giving them. So Atani watch. It sounds like Stranger Things. I love that song. It's just, it
You
makes
did
it
really good with that. That looked great. I watched the replay last night. I was like, oh, man, this is going to be fun. We're going to talk about him every day.
It's like Atani is. This is like my Stranger Things. Little stinger. I like it a lot.
Right?
So here's the bet for Atani today.
Yep.
Would you lay Atani minus 500 for the AL MVP or bet the field at plus 340?
That
If
a
he
book
gets
guy,
hurt, I mean, how can you not? You have to take the field in this bet, do you not?
the book guy in me says you have to take the field.
You have to.
But I mean, you put up the graphic yesterday, and he's obviously the Angels leader in everything. Pitching and hitting, every single thing. But you're starting to see now, not that you're starting to see, we've seen it since he came here, but everyone in the national media, except like one guy in New York, is just talking about like it's ordinary what he's doing. He's doing it to get clicks and views, and I understand what he's doing. Who's going to beat him? Look at the list. Who's going to beat him?
I mean, himself.
You're betting that he's going to get hurt. That's the only
Correct.
reason.
That is the only.
If he
100% correct.
He's the MVP.
Yeah, he's minus 500 to win it right now. Aaron Judge is 25-1. Marcus Semien is 40-1. Wander Franco is 40-1.
The next guy is 25-1.
Uh-huh.
I'm laying a 5-1.
Really?
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to take
You mean
Judge?
1 to 5. It's 1 to 5.
I'm going to lay 5-1. I'm going to lay 5 to win 1. He's not losing unless he gets hurt. Now you take shots at Simeon's at 40-1. Who's next?
Corey Seager is 40-1. Rosarena is 50-1. Bichette is 55-1. Diaz is 65-1. Guerrero Jr. is 80-1. I mean,
Listen,
there's
this happened in the NL when Harper was hurt. He was 50-1, and he came back, and the Phillies caught fire and won. But this dynamic of the Angels actually being good, they're favored today against the Dodgers and Kershaw's pitching.
Yep.
What? When did that happen? So you got these things happening now that I don't know who's going to beat him. I don't know.
No one's
Put it in
beating
the chat.
No one's beating him. No, if he stays healthy, nobody is beating him. But he could get hurt. I mean, this is baseball. I mean, anything could happen. Elbow, shoulder, knee. I mean, he could get hurt. And so, like, I just think plus 340. I don't know. Players get hurt who get used a lot, and he's getting used a ton.
Well, I mean, listen, plus 340 for the field. Take 5 shots and take 25-1 and 40-1 and 50-1, and I mean, take the next 5 guys. You're getting better than 340. You know what I'm saying?
Unless someone comes out of nowhere, right?
It can't be that big of a disparity.
I mean, Judge. I don't think Judge, but Simeon at 40-1 may not be a bad bet with how hot the Rangers have been. If they keep going the way they're going, and Simeon keeps on hitting the way he's hitting,
him and Seager may split votes.
Fair.
They're both on the Rangers.
Fair, right? But Seager's been hurt though, so
yes, this is okay. Yeah, Simeon is a monster.
Right.
Okay, so we're betting that Otani gets hurt. In your opinion, if he gets hurt, is it hitting and playing the field, or is it pitching?
Pitching.
He's so mechanically perfect. Anything can happen. But I think he's so in tune with what he's doing in his preparation because he plays every day. I think it's like sliding into second, some goofy play.
How about covering first?
Diving for a ball.
How about covering first?
Boy, oh boy. Well, I mean, now you're giving Kylie or my other daughter, they joke that pitchers they get off the mound and they can't do anything. They always talk about, why do they look so awkward covering first? It's harder than it looks. And I mean, Kylie, we practiced that drill, both of them, over and over and over to try to make it normal. That's a good one. That could be.
Rolls an ankle, breaks an ankle, gets
hit with a pitch or something, right?
Why would you ever have Ohtani be bunting? That's malpractice.
You can't. It's baseball. You
never have. I would never tell Ohtani to bunt. Ever. Never. No, that is a mistake. I would never ask him to bunt. Ever. No. Stealing second, maybe. Collision at home plate, like those types of things. Yeah, I think on the base paths that's possible. But I also think covering first base could get him. He gets spiked. He gets, rolled ankle, something along those lines. I think it causes him to get hurt.
A gecko just crawled by my foot. That's why I looked down. A gecko lizard just literally crawled about a foot from me.
They are here, or are they down there?
No, this one was little. This one looked a little. But they changed them colors. Like it was that one was like pink or something. I don't know what that was. It just crawled, but startled me for a second. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah. We have a fancy leopard gecko in the house. That's what we have here.
As the pet?
Yeah, you never seen it? Madeline has a. I mean,
you wouldn't let her bring me or show me the gecko last time it was over. She was all excited, remember? And you're like, leave the gecko in the room or wherever.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's pretty large. It's almost like it's 10 inches or so, 9 inches. It's big. It's a weird looking thing, but it's a fancy. It could live for 25 years. She could have this thing going to college. I was like, wait, what?
I can't get over the fact that it's either going to live 25 years or you said it's 10 inches and you leave our chat alone with the 10-inch comment. I thought of Addison. I thought of somebody.
Let him go crazy. Let him. You can have it. Have at it, sophomore. Chat, go crazy, you.
Why, did you see what they did yesterday? I had a question time from the book on Twitter at Sports Cake and Sig, and I said, what's the temperature in the room when you're away? I don't mean the room rate. I don't mean what's your room number. And first one, Iveta, our meteorologist, she said 69.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yes,
for the temperature. Yeah, and then Addison came in with the 69 call, and I was like, really, any number? And you went with that one? I mean, seriously, everybody has a number in the book. We always talk about that. 68, maybe 67. That would have been a little better, but geez.
Time for the Brigade Proxy Service NFL story of the day. I'll be down there setting up another one of our customers later tonight here in Vegas. Should be a lot of fun as we continue to get people ready for the Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and then starting July 1st, the Westgate Super Contest will start their signups, which will be a lot of fun. So we get going with the second contest. We only have 2 of them open right now. The third opens here in a couple of weeks. Coming up for this one, you guys can follow at Brigade Proxy on Twitter or email at brigadeproxy@gmail.com to book an appointment to sign up when you come to Vegas. You must physically be here in Vegas to sign up, and then we will enter the picks for you throughout the NFL pick season, 18 weeks.
Please do so, ideally before September 1st. If you're coming, email us. Ideally, that will get us in the system. We'll get you a time. We'll coordinate it. Come down, sign up, say hello, depending on how they're booked. Be able to,
hang out,
kibbutz with you a little bit, whatever. See if we can hook you up with at least at minimum, maybe a drink ticket or 2, and depending on what's going on in the book or elsewhere on the property. A lot of things happening down there.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So brigadeproxy@gmail.com. Shoot us an email if you're coming into town to book us here for your football pick handicapping season. Is Aaron Rodgers to the Jets the same as Tom Brady to the Bucs? Jordan Whitehead of the Jets made that comment yesterday.
Yeah.
He compares Aaron Rodgers joining New York to when Brady walked in and took the Bucs to a championship in his first season. Fair?
I mean, he's on the team, so he can say that and say, "Yeah, let's do this. This is our guy. He's coming in to take us to the Super Bowl. He's coming." Can you imagine everybody's coming to Vegas for the Super Bowl? Like this is Rodgers is coming in to take the Jets to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. No, it's not the same. Is it the same? I feel like the Bucs were closer to being ready than the Jets are. No?
I think the Bucs are way closer. We're way closer than where the
Way
Jets are.
close.
And they're also in a much different division. Like the difference between the Jets and the Bucs is that the Bucs played in one of the worst divisions in football, if not the worst division in football, arguably either NFC South or AFC South. And you've got the Buffalo Bills in your division if you're the Jets. So, I mean, you're playing a team that will be heavily favored, if not favored, against you both times. And you're in the same state. You're in the same state. I mean, I think it's a much more difficult path for the Jets to get to the Super Bowl coming out of the AFC, knowing that you've got not just the Bills, but the Chiefs to deal with coming out. NFC is much
Dolphins
easier.
In the division.
Dolphins are there.
Dolphins are right there.
Yep.
Like Brady went
Much
from the
different.
AFC East and winning it every single year to then when it really, it got harder or perfect timing, went to the AFC East in the NFC South.
Yes.
He went to the team that became the best because he was on it and everyone else was, Will said to say it with, from your chest, shit. The rest of the division was exactly that when he got there. So he walked right into a perfect situation. I don't think Rodgers even close to walking into the perfect situation like that.
Well, it's also a situation where Bruce Arians, he hadn't gotten there, but Bruce Arians had been around it. The head coaching situation, I don't know if Keith Arizari's taking the Jets to win the Super Bowl or not. I think that's scary. I think that scares me a little bit on that. So,
listen, those players love playing for him.
I love playing for Keith.
It's a different beast, right? To come and take.
Well, Dave froze twice today. How about that? That's 2 times he froze. He didn't freeze at all yesterday. Different connection speed, different issue. Whoa, let's see when he clicks back in.
Oh boy, stay with it.
There we go.
Stay with it.
We're all good. We're all good.
Whew. All right.
We're good. Continue.
I think having a younger coach is a different dynamic that they clearly didn't have. And Brady and Bruce went like this
After they won. That was afterwards. Not in year one. Not in year one. Not in year one.
A love affair.
In year one, Bruce Arians was basically telling Tom Brady what to do, and Brady said, okay. Brady took it until they won. And then when they won, Brady was like, I don't want to listen to you anymore. And then Brady won that fight. Arians retired.
So based on the track record, how's Aaron and the young coaches, how's that worked out? So
bad. Really bad. I mean, is Salo young? I don't know if I would call him young, but
and he's just his first NFL coaching job. This is what?
Yes.
Third
first head coaching job. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. No, unproven. 100% unproven. I mean, the same thing happened with him with the Packers, and they gave him this is an offense. This is a defensive mind versus an offensive mind, so it's a little bit different on that. But I mean, I don't know. I've said it before. I don't think Aaron Rodgers works in New York. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a rough season in New York. I think the media is going to be all over him. I think it's a honeymoon period right now. I think they eat him alive this season. I really do.
He's ingratiating himself into the New York lifestyle, and he keeps posting.
By what? Showing up by going to Taylor Swift concerts? Like what do you mean? Was he ingratiating himself into the New York media? One loss is all it takes.
The Jets fans love him.
For right now, they love him till he loses. Wait till he loses a game to the Browns. Then how are they going to feel about him?
They chew you up and spit you out.
They will flip so fast. They won't even blink an eye to flip on him.
Right.
That'll be easy for them to go like, yeah, we're not in love with you anymore, type of thing. They love you right now because the expectation is they're winning a Super Bowl. That's why they love them.
Is that the expectation right now?
Yes.
Year one? Is that? Oh, people! If your expectations are to win a Super Bowl, you're going to be disappointed.
That's all
They're
they
not
care
winning
about.
the AFC.
Okay, that's all they believe they are going to win it all. That is why all the Jet monies come in. That's why all the Jet fans are jumping up and down. They think they're winning it all.
Are you serious?
Yes, that is where they are. And they're going to be, I think, woefully disappointed. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a really good quarterback for them, but I don't think he's going to be – I don't think he'd be better than Josh Allen's going to be quite honest. And I don't know – look, I'm not sleeping on what Mac Jones does this year. I think Mac Jones might surprise a lot of people.
Whoa.
Just telling you, he may surprise a lot of people this year.
I mean, you're really that like to the point where they win more games than they lose?
I think the Patriots going over 500, going 9-8 is very, very possible. I think they'll be in a conversation for a wild card team. They're not competing with the Bills, but their defense is good enough. Their running back and offensive line is good enough. And if Mac Jones thrives under Bill O'Brien's system, they could be competitive with anybody in the league. Even the Chiefs, they can be competitive with anybody in the league.
Wow.
That defense is going to be legit. If
Who
Judon
finishes last in the AFC East then right now? I mean,
all
again,
depends on the Dolphins. What is the Dolphins quarterback situation?
It's the Dolphins?
What is the Dolphins What is the Dolphins quarterback
I mean,
situation?
as of right now, what we know, it's Tua, right?
Yeah, and if Tua gets hurt again, and if Tua's out, it's the Dolphins. They'll win 7 games.
Wow.
I mean, it really depends upon whatever happens with that. I mean, that's the whole year for the Dolphins is what's going to happen with the quarterback spot. And if Tua cannot stay healthy, I don't care about Tyreek Hill. I don't care who you're throwing to. You're not going to beat good teams in the AFC. AFC is nasty. I mean, AFC is. I mean, I think the Raiders are better than people think. People are still crapping on the Raiders. I think they're going to. I think Josh in year 2 will have a much better season. Patriots have a really hard schedule.
Jimmy G's the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I've always liked Jimmy Garoppolo. I've been in the minority. I wanted Jimmy G to quarterback the Patriots. I thought Jimmy G should stay with the 49ers.
You did say that.
So I mean, too. I've been good with Jimmy G for a while. I like him. He's accurate with the football. Well, there's a question about the foot, obviously, but you know, if he's not, they can cut him. But they think he'll be fine. They think he's going to be okay. So it's a question. I'll give you that. But I mean, that's why they brought in Brian Hoyer. But I don't think you bring in Brian Hoyer as the emergency quarterback unless you feel pretty confident that you got your guy at the starting spot.
Correct.
So, I mean, the Patriot West, the Raiders are basically the Patriot West. And, Hoyer coming in here and doing that. So I think there's 7 former players from the Patriots and 5 former coaches that are here. I mean, they're all from the
Bring the
Patriots.
boys in. That's what we're going to do.
And Tom Brady's part owner
with the BBB. Yeah, come on
and
in, boys.
And Tom Brady's part owner. So, I mean, it all kind of just, works its way through it. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be wild to see how this season unfolds. I wouldn't be comparing Brady and the Bucs with Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
It's a sale job for the teammates, for the media, whatever. Like, yeah, this is just like that. We're going to do this. I mean, you got to say it, maybe to bring it to reality. But in reality, I don't know who believes it. People, sign up if you come to the contest or come to Vegas and sign up for the contest, just reach out. BPS. Keep messing that up. BPS, Brigade Proxy Service.
Brigade Proxy at gmail.com is the email address.
That's right.
All right. This story is crazy.
Why?
This is my favorite.
Good.
This is my favorite story of the day.
Awesome.
Sports teams are starting to make announcements that they are going to start to broadcast their games over the air, 1970 style.
Right.
The Jazz made the announcement yesterday that starting this season, they will be the latest franchise to give their games for free over the air with a pair of rabbit ears. I mean, this is wild. According to the owner, Ryan Smith, last year, only 39% of households in Utah had the ability to watch the Jazz games. Now,
39%. Okay.
39% of the population of Utah had the ability to watch their games.
Okay.
Because they were on a broadcast they were on
basically
on cable,
right?
It was like, well, not just cable. They were on a regional sports network.
Okay, right. Yep.
So not everyone who had certain cable companies had deals with that regional sports network. So that limited the number of people.
Okay.
And did they pay for that premium level to get that channel, even if they did have a deal? Did they go ahead and do that? So only 39% of the population of Utah had the ability to watch their games. As Smith said,
Have
quote,
somebody
now,
put in the chat how many people live in Utah. I'm curious what that number is.
I think it's 3.5 million.
I was going to say, is it 3 to 4 million? Okay.
Yeah, it's low.
Okay,
now,
that's still a lot of people, but go ahead.
According to Smith, if you have a TV with rabbit ears, we're going to be able to hit 100% of our audience. This comes in the wake of the Vegas Golden Knights making the same announcement, the Phoenix Suns making the same announcement, and the Phoenix's WNBA team, the Mercury, making the announcement on the wake of the Los Angeles Clippers becoming the first to make the announcement last October that a direct-to-consumer delivery process is underway for their games. What do you make of this?
Everything that's old is coming back.
Is it really? This is the difference is this, okay? The one thing I'll say, HD broadcasted over-the-air television is one of these like unknown things that exists everywhere. Your television has the ability to receive an HD high-def signal for all of your local channels in the market that you live in. But because you and I were raised in the era of cable and then the era of DirecTV and satellite,
Correct.
Nobody ever thinks that you can actually watch television without paying for it. It's still there. So now teams are saying, look why are we doing these deals with these companies that are going bankrupt? They're promising us all this money, and then the money's not there. So why not just do it ourselves, put it out on an app, and if you don't put it on an app, we're going to put it over the air. So then everyone can watch our games, and we don't need the distribution platform anymore. We control our own content.
It felt like one of the funny.
It's wild. I mean,
I almost started crying when you said it. I'm so excited about it. I love it. I don't like it. I love it. Because now we can, listen, you got to grow the game. You got to grow the team. You got to grow the fan base. You make it harder for people to watch. Guess what? Look at this place here. I need to watch the games. There's not, you're competing in a lot of places with life, right? I got so much finite time to watch games. Don't make it harder for me, and definitely don't make me pay X times X to get it.
Well, yeah,
I'm going to watch the games this way. I love it. Now the teams have more control. Is it more measurable this way or no?
No, it's less.
Because anybody can pick it up.
You're making it available to as many people as possible, but the tracking methodology is more difficult as to how many people are watching it. You can tell through Nielsen ratings and different types of ranking systems. You can figure it out, but it's not like cable and DirecTV, which has very, accurate numbers as to who's watching it in what market. But the idea is to push this out to every, you need to have a channel. Okay. So the channel's got to be out there. You need to have the ability to broadcast this. Okay. So I'm curious how the state of Utah is going to get this, because are they partnering with local TV stations? Are they buying small licenses to be able to push it out? Because like Salt Lake City to like St. George, Utah is a 6-hour drive. Like it's dramatically different.
I think from there to there.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a big difference.
And there's a lot of remote areas.
Yeah. So the Vegas Golden Knights here in town, we're going to be able to test this out because the Vegas Golden Knight games here in town are going to be shown over the air. They're not going to be shown. You're not going to need to have DirecTV or cable or a streaming service to watch their games. So how many people, and there are people in the state who live in the rural parts of Nevada, much like the rural parts of Utah, that watch everything over rabbit ears still. Now, it's not your old school like what we used to have, like the two like nanu type stuff, okay? It's actually in the TV.
In the TV,
It's built into the TV. The receiver is in the television. So when you buy it, you can just go through it, click on HD receiver, and you can scan channels. Like my TVs, you can tell the TV, go ahead and scan all the channels, and it will tell you what you have reception for.
Yes.
And when you watch it for the first time, it will blow your mind as a kid. It will blow your mind to see the quality of some of these channels, the HD quality that you'll get. I did it when I moved here. I was streaming everything, and I was watching all the local channels over the air. That's what I was doing.
Right.
And it was, I mean,
it was
sometimes, well, not fine. Some of the channels, depending where you are, like the CW affiliates or like the lower end ones weren't as clear.
Okay.
But like your ABC, CBS, NBC, crystal clear. Couldn't tell the difference between cable. Sometimes it's a better picture, to be honest. You're not going through the coaxial cable. You're just going straight off the air.
I love it. I saw it when you sent it, and I read it, and I was like, I think this is a good thing. What's the negative to this?
The negative is you have to be able to broadcast it over the air, like I mentioned. So like, all right, so to get our signal from Vegas to Reno, you have to be able to get a transmitter in Reno to broadcast the signal. So there are engineering things you have to do to make that happen.
So is this going to be beneficial to, like, is the latency better? Is this a more direct?
Sure. Yeah, the latency will be better. It still will have latency, but it won't be nearly as bad. There's no birds. You know, we're not going to space to get the signal up to back down. So latency will be faster, definitely. But there still will be latency. No debate.
I think you're going to grow the fan bases wherever this is done.
That's true.
I'm not
debating that point.
Penguin games on channel 53. It was the only UHF. VHF was the lower numbers, and the UHF was the higher numbers, right? Or was it vice versa?
I don't remember. Yes.
But it was channel 53 in Pittsburgh. Those
which knob? Bottom. The top knob was all that was 4, 5, 6, 7. Bottom knob was 25, 38, and 56. That's what I watched when I was growing up. Yes.
Kids, just Google old TVs, top knob, bottom knob.
Yes, and that's what we watched.
You just took me back to my grandmother's house.
Yes. Click. Yep, it was absolutely. So I'd watch the Bruins on 38. And I watched the Red Sox. I'd watch the Red Sox on also 38, and I'd watch the Celtics on channel 25. That's what I used to watch when I was growing up.
No doubt. That's so. I can't even believe you just said that because we knew the channel numbers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was the only way we watched them, other than in person. And it was a treat
and to see the highlights. You had to wait till the 6 o'clock news to see the highlights the next day. And you'd say we watch sports. We would stay and watch the news for the first 20 minutes because the C block is where they put the sports broadcast. So we'd stay to watch the sports, and we learned about the late night games would be carried in the morning because the paper didn't have the late night scores, the West Coast games. So when your team played on the West Coast, you didn't know what the score until like midday the next day, whether or not they won or not.
Correct.
It was horrific.
Anybody that's younger than 30 is listening to us going, these two are old.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even
But that's how fast really technology changed, though. And like, if we're going back to this, like this is whatever is old is new again. Like, I think what it does about your point about growing the fan bases in these markets, these are test cases. These are also states that are not the Clippers, obviously, because they're not rural. It's obviously Los Angeles. But Nevada and Utah are both very small populated states with large swaths of land all over the place.
Right.
And there's people who live in different pockets of the states that aren't really close to metropolitan areas. Like a lot of people live in the desert. A lot of people live between Utah and Reno. Between Vegas and Reno. There's like nothing in between the two cities. Like, it's crazy. But there's little towns and people live and whatnot. So now you want to market to those people. And that could be like 500,000 people that you're trying to get yourself, that could help your broadcast, help your fan base grow, buy more gear, go to a game or two a season, and make it more about the community. It makes it easier to watch the games, which is, I think, at the end of the day, what teams have learned. It's easier. It's better for you to know how to do this. Yes. The problem I see, what's the problem? Teams have invested, like the Red Sox and the Bruins. They've invested in New England Sports Network, NESN. They're part owners. The Red Sox own 80%. The Bruins own 20% of the New England Sports Network, okay?
Wow, okay.
So they've made monster investments. Teams, and they're not the only team to do that. Other teams have done that where they've said, okay, we're going to own our own network. We're not going to worry about this, other people doing it. We're going to do it. Well, they're not going to do this because they're charging people right now $30 a month in New England to stream the Red Sox games. Nesson, they call it Nesson.
Nesson
Plus. No, Nesson Plus is the channel.
Extra Nesson.
Something like that.
I saw it pop up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's $30 a month to pay for a streaming service to watch the games on your phone or tablet to watch Red Sox games. So like teams aren't gonna like this. Like if other teams are doing it for free and you're saying, hey, okay, here's our games are free, it definitely puts more pressure on other teams to do the same or to come up with a way of fixing it. Like in the big population cities, if they were to do this, like the Yes Network, the Yankees entertainment station or system. What's Yes stand for? Yankees Entertainment. I don't know what the S stands for, but whatever it is, or MSG TV, right? These are major population centers. I don't see them doing this. I don't see them going to the rabbit ear distribution model in changing the last 30 years of how they've done business.
I mean, like the Braves. I was a Braves kind of fan. I became
of course, but they were on cable though, right?
That's fine.
WGN was a cable channel.
Yeah, and I was a Cubs guy. I love to watch those,
right?
games as
so
well.
TBS was a cable channel. WGN was a cable channel. They were carrying these games across the country and on multiple platforms that grew. I mean, the Braves are the team of the South. I mean,
yes.
You'll meet people in Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. They're all Braves fans because of TBS and having those games on their cable network, on their basic cable network
every day
at TBS.
Yeah.
So to make your games more accessible, 100% grows your fan base. But over the air, there are still big costs associated with this. Like this is not a small endeavor to build those transmitters, buy those transmitters. We're going back. Radio is going away from this. Radio doesn't want to do this anymore. Radio's furious about this. Oh, who is this?
This is my nephew.
We're bringing in more. What's going on?
In your ear real quick.
How are you?
Hi. Say hi. That's Matt.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Name? How old are you? And where do you go to school?
My name is Crosby. I'm 13, and I don't live here. I live in Ohio, and I go to Old St. George Middle School.
Very nice. What grade are you in?
I'm going into 8th.
Going into 8th grade. How about it? I love that year. What's your uncle like? Do you like your uncle?
Yeah.
Listen, we've only met before this trip twice in person.
What?
He's been in because he's been in Ohio,
right?
And I've been in Vegas, and
right.
We met the last time I was in Ohio before this trip.
Nice.
He wasn't born yet.
Wow.
And we took the kids, and he's got 2 older sisters. He's the youngest. He's just like my brother Doug. We played ping pong last time we were home, or we were in Columbus. That was fun, was it not?
Yeah.
We got a big ping pong match. We introduced him to doubles ping pong, Perrault, which me and him were a team. Unbeatable.
Switch the thing, Dave. Switch.
Sorry.
Switch the thing.
Hey,
there you go.
I'm sorry.
Both of you can switch the thing. You guys you both failed.
Good.
You
Put
both
it in
failed
your
the
ear
test.
There you go.
So then you're not pulling on each other. You can have a conversation.
Okay, well we're good.
Much better.
This is what he does the show. Amp produces the show, so he knows everything. Do you have sunscreen on?
Yeah.
Okay. You going back to Ohio tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right.
Toasty. He'll be toasty. It's all good. Give me. So are you? Who are your teams?
Who's your favorite team, sport-wise and stuff? Are you a Columbus Crew guy? No, not really soccer guy. No.
Buckeyes?
Ohio State Buckeyes.
No.
He's a Penn State. Uncle Doug is a Penn State guy. He's not allowed to like the Ohio State.
He's not allowed
Buckeyes.
to. Okay, so he's not. I mean, he could if he wanted to.
He's being raised right. He doesn't like the Buckeyes.
All right, so living in Columbus, liking Penn State's a tough gig. Do
It's
you like
hard.
the Blue Jackets?
Yeah, I like the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Because with the name of Crosby, it's like, okay, are you forced to be a Penguins fan? You forced to be one?
Yeah, I like both teams.
He's forced. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of you're getting the Pittsburgh teams kind of thrown on you.
Yeah.
You don't really have a choice. Like Steelers. No? You like the Bengals? The Browns?
No,
Thank goodness. Who's your favorite NFL team?
I don't really have a favorite
Oh, I was hoping if you said Patriots, I was gonna say.
If he said Patriots, that's kicking him off the show right there. That was it. Yeah.
I was like, watch him drop the Patriots. It would be
Is
great.
anyone else up yet over there? No.
Kate is.
Kate. All right. Tell her we'll be over in a minute.
All right.
Tell Mac goodbye.
Bye.
Good to meet you. Enjoy it.
Good to meet you too.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
I will.
This is like meet your family day. This is awesome. This is a lot of fun. To go ahead and have this. All right.
He's not afraid of nothing. That's the best part. He's the youngest, and he ain't afraid of nothing. He watches the show sometimes in the summer, like he's been paying attention, and he's like, Uncle Dave, it's pretty cool what you guys do on the show. And I'm like, you do it with Madeline. I've been doing it with Kendall, from a young age. Like,
oh yeah,
if they can learn to get over that, whatever it is, like at a young age, they could have opportunities to do this for real when they get older. Like it's there. So it's great to see. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's great to see.
DraftKings made a big announcement this morning.
Did you see the pictures?
Here is the picture of the DraftKings Sportsbook at Wrigley Field. There is what you will see on June 27th at Wrigley Field when the DraftKings Sportsbook will open its doors. Food, entertainment, drinking. Those are all bars that are going to be there. What would Shoeless Joe Jackson say if he found out that a book was opening up at Wrigley Field?
Probably say, get the fuck out of here. I don't believe this. What?
Yeah.
We're doing this here? I mean, he played at Comiskey, yes, but like...
Right, but still. Same city.
It's right there. That looks spectacular.
It's gorgeous. I mean, it's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
Look at this. This is great. They look like they spared no expenses on the screens, all this other stuff. Now, the question that I have for you is the same question that I had for the guy in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Who worked at the book and then he sold souvenirs during the games.
Okay.
Are you going there on a non-game day?
Depends. I mean, the one thing that's weird about the book, I'll just say this, like the cafeteria style is a little awkward to me. like there's a lot of chairs in there. Okay. So I get what they're trying to do. Trying to put a lot of people in there at once. But like part of the Vegas in me, that when I see that, I just go like, I feel like that's a lunchroom with a bunch of TVs. So like, am I going to have my tray? Like, are there going to be like a bunch of bullies who are going to knock my tray over and steal my lunch money? Like, that's my only issue with the book. Is it like, I get it. You want a lot of people in there. So we're going to try to do this. But like, there's like an awkward, like, look at the number of like, these are 6 tables, right? So if 2 people sit down at that table, like, what do you do with the other 4 chairs? Do you sit with a stranger? Like people just like sit down and like there's coffee shops in Vegas like this that are set up with all long tables and people sit like 2 by 2. Yeah. And it's super awkward because like you're having this conversation with somebody and there's somebody next to you having the same thing. And it's like you hear their conversation, they hear your conversation. It's super weird. It's super awkward. So like the Vegas in me is like, man, I don't know about the layout. Like the layout seems I get it. It's Wrigley Field, small confines, pack people in as many chairs as possible. But I don't know how it goes when we're actually open for business. I don't know.
Game day is going to be an interesting.
It's going to be a Looney Tunes. It's going to be ridiculous during the games.
Well, I don't know. Will you go in there and hang out, or you go watch the game? Like,
you'll go in there. The Cubs suck, so you go watch a real baseball team. So
they're the second choice. You just gave the
I'm just kidding.
They're the second
but let's be honest though. But there are a lot of Cub fans that go there for other reasons in baseball. Wrigley Field's a unique dynamic. There are some people.
Boston.
There are some people who are more interested. Hold on.
Fenway
there are more people. There are some people.
Game day to go
there are
watch
some
the
people.
Game in a book.
Hold on. There are some people who are going to go to Wrigley Field who are more interested in the beer cup snake than the game itself. Okay, that's just a fact. Okay, it's just a fact. Hold on. Went off. Hold on.
Change the battery back.
Hold on.
Oh gosh.
Hold on. We're back. We're back. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry.
Yes, good job.
Sorry. There you go. We're just
So-
one cord. But that's true. There are some people who are more interested in dating and going to Wrigley Field to find a date than they are to watch the game. That's just a fact. If you're a Cub fan, you know that to be a fact. It's true. So I think a book there makes a ton of sense because I do think people are going to go there during the game. I do think people are going to go there on non-game days. People go to Wrigley Field to party anyway. Go to a sports bar.
Everybody has the app on their phone.
Not about betting. Not about gambling. They aren't going there to bet. Going there to party.
So they already do that in Wrigleyville, do they not?
So
all those bars around.
Yeah, so
there.
it's another opportunity to
in
do
the
that.
ballpark.
Well, just have which is cool. You're at
Okay,
Wrigley Field.
it's fine, but they spent a lot of money. They look like they spared no expense to build that. Okay,
Correct.
They're not going to make up for it in handle.
I'm going to read you the press release. Okay, here's the press release.
Go.
Guests can enjoy a variety of different seating options throughout the 17,000 square foot space, ranging from traditional tables to bar stools at the Jim Beam Bar to plush booths, drink rail seats, and semi-private spaces designed to fit groups of up to 25 people. In each space, fans will enjoy a menu featuring American bar fare with elevated and unique twists on game day favorites created by Levy, the Cubs' hospitality partner at Wrigley Field. The Levy is a Chicago-based market leader creating innovative food and beverage experiences at iconic sports and entertainment venues and world-class restaurants. You're going to be able to go in there and order things like a smoked pastrami sandwich, a colossal hot dog, a prime rib sandwich. Like, people are going to go there and eat if the food's good. They're going to go there to party, not for baseball. It becomes
so it's a restaurant with a book. Okay, it
Correct.
becomes Chicky and Pete's.
Correct.
Like we go
100%.
to Chicky and
Yes.
Pete's in the ballpark.
Yes.
It becomes okay.
It's
All
not
right,
about
as
the
long
game.
as
It's to make the space. It's try to keep Wrigley Field same way they do it with Fenway Park, and there's a bar in Fenway Park in center field. It's the same thing. They try to keep people going to the ballpark into the area year round. When it's frigid cold, a way of getting people to go to Wrigley Field, go to the ballpark.
So we went to the bar and ate lunch in Arizona, and there was no games going on. It wasn't even baseball season yet, the Super Bowl.
Right.
Is that what this is designed to do?
100%. Yes, in my opinion.
Okay.
After reading the press release and reading what it is, I don't think DraftKings is interested in the handle all that much. I think they're interested in building the brand awareness and getting people to come in and eat, go to lunch, have meetings. I mean, look, I think it's cool.
Do you remember all the ESPN zones?
Yes.
You know how many are still open?
There's a reason for that.
What is it?
ESPN's brand lost a lot of market share, lost a lot of attention, and lost the sexiness that it once had. ESPN, it became like Hooters. Hooters is the same thing. The Hooters brand lost a lot of luster.
Right.
And so because of that, it became old and stale, and kids started to gravitate towards other things. So you give them something new to go to, something sexy, fun, cool, hip, get young people to go and party there and have fun, have concerts there, or have different events, trivia nights and whatnot going on. People will go. People will be a part of it. I mean, Fenway's trying to do this. I mean, the whole Fenway area.
I mean, you live there. You know, I went there for a couple days. Getting in and out of there, if I'm a little bit far away, I'm not going down to Fenway on an off day to hang out.
Wrong.
No?
Wrong. No.
We're going to Fenway when it's closed.
Green line goes right to Kenmore Square. It's a quick hop, skip, and a jump walk. Yeah, 100%. Yes. Avalon. Excuse me. Dating myself. House of Blues is right behind Fenway Park. You got a huge club concert place right there. They've got a bunch of different bars that are right behind on Lansdowne Street behind the Green Monster. People go to the Fenway area all the time. Yeah, it's really easy. Public transportation, it takes you right there. It's simple. Same thing with Wrigleyville. Public transportation takes you right there. So people will
if
go.
you're going to go, if you think people will go, they're doing the Field of Dreams thing. If you build it, they will come.
Yep.
They're building it. They did it anyway. It's opening on June 27th.
But the handle at the book is not what they're worried about. They want people to come in to be. The books are doing a very interesting thing right now, which I actually don't hate. What the books are now saying is that we need to make sure people are aware of us 24/7, and that when they're ready to bet, we're top of the mind, because they aren't. The average player is not shopping. The average player is betting $20 and they're not line shopping.
100%.
They just want to make a bet. So we're going to be top of the mind awareness. So how do we do that? We're going to be in front of them all the time. We're going to stick our logo in front of them as much as possible. And we're not going to spend as much on the $5 to win 1,000 or whatever it is, download with its code baloney anymore. We're just going to do it the old fashioned way. We're going to brand. And we're going to brand it as much as we can, tying it to your favorite team. So if you're a Cub fan, your book is DraftKings. When you come in, you're going to go eat at DraftKings. You're going to watch the other games at DraftKings. And when you're ready to bet, you'll then bet at DraftKings.
On the phone. Yep.
On the phone.
Right.
Or at the window. The windows will be open.
The windows will be open, but you're right. It's a branding exercise. If it's that, they got a shot.
Everyone's doing that. Good too. That's agreed 100%. They're really good. It's competitive down there. You got to be right. You got to do it the right way. And you have a certain, but like when I went to Encore at Boston, in Boston, so the book is set up right next to the book is Shake Shack. So I went and got all my food at Shake Shack, sat down to the book, watched the games. Like I was there. I made bets. I made bets at the window a couple of times, but I was there to gamble at the tables. But I was in the book watching a game, eating at a Shake Shack, which is right next door, which provides the food to the book. We're seeing that more and more as these books are building. They're becoming sports bars that happen to have a sports book in them. We did that in Vegas years ago. They're catching up. They're trying to do it. I'm good with it as long as those are the expectations. And, I've been. Like I literally talked to that guy. I said, how's it like working in the book? He said, I think they're moving it. I don't even think they're going to keep the book in the ballpark in Cincinnati because nobody goes there. But what's the area around the Great American Ballpark like? It's the ballpark. Right, and that's it, right? It's that's nothing. It, right? Big parking lots, nothing. Around. Nothing right around. It's weird to go to it's weird to go to just the ballpark, because there's nothing else going on. This only works in big population center cities. New York, Chicago, Philly, Boston. Like this. Exactly. Yes. Xfinity was the first ones to do it. When they built Xfinity Live in Philadelphia, which is right next to the bank and right next to to the link. They share a parking lot. There's there's public there's a subway that goes right there. Yes. But that was open 365. And I was always like, who the hell's coming down here? Well, they do go down there when there's not a game going on, because there's bars, parties, there's concerts. And then when there are games going on, my gosh, it's hopping and crazy. Yes. It's super fun. So we've seen it be done before in other markets, but this is how I think I think that the big four, BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, I think this is what they're going to do going forward, is they're going to copy what MGM is doing here in Vegas. It's all about the show. We're not worrying about the codes. We're not worrying about the handle. We're not worried about the bonus sign up stuff. We want to be experiential, and we want to make sure our customers understand that. And that's where the customer retention conversation is going to come from the big four. What does that do for everybody else? Puts them miles behind the eight ball. Makes them as if they weren't miles behind already. Now they can't offer that experience. They can't offer that experience. It's very bad. And it's going to be really hard to create that without the spend. Yeah. I mean, they spend a lot of money on this, and they can, and they will continue to do so. Yeah. And this is going to be, a focus of a lot of things. I mean, seeing it down here, right? Yeah. They're building a sports book at the golf course where the Phoenix opens. Yep. Yep. There ain't nobody going out there to hang out and bet there. But those 4 days, the amount of people that they will have go through there will then the next year go back. People may go back and say, hey, let's go out to that bar. And they go out one more time a year that's not those 4 days. It starts to build. It starts to build. It's a win. It's true. Book It time as we roll here. Only two games to get to you here for Better to Book It.
Yep.
The first being over 8.5 Dodgers and the Angels. Did you know, Dave, that the Dodgers are the #1 team on the road to the over this season?
I believe it. Not only because they're scoring, but because they're giving it up.
22, 11, and 3 on the road this year to the over for the Dodgers.
Wow.
Kershaw's ERA on the road is 3.97, opposing batting average of 253 with 7 home runs given up so far on the road for Kershaw. Detmers has a home ERA of 4.65, 16 earned runs given up in 31 innings. He has been good lately, as has Kershaw, but the Angels this year overall are 35, 33, and 6 to the over, but they have been okay at home as an under bet, 18, 15, and 1 as an under bet, but I'm going over 8.5 Dodgers Angels today.
Do you like a side?
I do not. I couldn't come up with the side here on this game.
Yeah, I would lean Dodgers,
Okay.
but I like the over as well. I say bet this. I think this might be one of those 2 first fivers and game over. Either the Dodgers get to Detmers, or Kershaw gives up a bomb or 2.
Right.
The way this is going, like this may escalate quickly. Yes,
Yep.
The way those guys are hitting right now, I
Yeah.
think those home run props are live. Donnie Wrightside likes to call it Dinger Tuesday. There's going to be a lot of dingers in this game. I think it goes over.
Yeah, I'm fair on that. You know, it's funny too because yesterday, the poor Royals. So a good pitching performance yesterday, finally out of our boy, but he
From
ended up
Lyles.
for Lyles, but he winds up leaving the game 4-1. We got a run in the bottom of the 5th inning that got us there to have a push 5-1. Under 4.5, when over 4.5 cashed, 5 I bet pushed. But then
The bullpen
just gave it. They're now 0-16. Jordan Lyles starts for the Royals. They're 0-16 straight up. He didn't get lost, but they're 0-16 on games he pitches.
There's a couple trends that our friend Ralph tweeted out. That was one of them. That one got there. The one with the Red Sox and the
Did
Twins
not get there.
did not get there. The
Red
Red
Sox killed
Sox
them.
won.
Killed
That was great. And
Killed
I
them.
like this game over.
Only other bet is Marlins money line -115. I'm fading the Blue Jays. I'm going to bet the streak here. Keep the Marlins hot. Perez is phenomenal.
He is great. What's the pitching matchup? Who's pitching for the Blue Jays?
Kikuchi against Perez.
I like this one too. I think we gotta bet this one.
I don't get the number, to be quite honest. I was kind of stunned by
Toronto
this.
still is either overvalued or their opponent is undervalued. I don't know how one way or the other, however you explain it, it's the same cause and effect.
FanDuel's up to -122, but still not expensive at all to take
On the Marlins?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the side.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
would.
side.
I would take the Marlins. Perez is he's been so good at home, and I love this Marlins team right now. Blue Jays are in deep trouble. They're reeling, in my opinion. They're in deep trouble.
Nobody's in deep trouble yet. It's only
no, Toronto is. I think the Red Sox might end up with a better record than Toronto.
That's very possible. Red Sox are getting hot.
So
Might
that's
have a fun
bad news.
summer, both of us.
That's bad. Toronto's better than if they're behind the Red Sox. That's really bad for Toronto. This Red Sox team is not good. Favorite thing about today is what?
Pulled it off again. Did the show. We got the show done. We had a phone call this morning, moving things around. You got a guy coming in today to sign up for the contest, and it's June 20th. Things are moving and grooving for the BVB Brigade, the BPS, the Brigade Proxy Service, and Brother Doug and nephew Crosby made the show. That was a lot of fun. I mean, he's walking around, he's bopping around, telling everybody who's on TV. It's great. This is fun.
When he watches it tonight,
today.
have show him on Sports Grid tonight and let him watch it tonight. It'll be
we're gonna have to cut the clip and email it to him and all this stuff so he can show it off at school and all his friends. And all that
He'll be
other
like,
stuff.
I was on TV.
Absolutely.
Look at me. It'd be a very good time. That was a lot of fun. So tomorrow, are you back in Vegas tomorrow? You still down there tomorrow? What's the deal?
No. We're doing the show like this again tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I'm on the road afterwards.
Okay.
We're going to hang out, I guess, because everybody's leaving, parting ways. The girls live here with the boys. But
right.
Brother Doug's flying back to Columbus with his kids tomorrow. We're driving back to Vegas tomorrow. And then back to normal on Thursday.
All right. Very cool.
Before you go away.
before I go away on Tuesday. My favorite thing about today is that we get to meet some more people coming into town. They happen to be from Boston, so I'm excited to see some Boston people coming on in to sign up for the Brigade Proxy Service. It's super cool to see them to do that. We've been talking to them for a couple of weeks now, and then when they heard about the service, they're like, "Oh, we're in 100%. Let's do this." So they're in town. They're at the Cabana right now. I have no idea what state they're going to be in later tonight, but we're gonna sign them up. We're gonna have some fun here in Vegas tonight on a Tuesday night. So. It should be enjoyable. It worked out well with you in Arizona and me here in Vegas. Yeah. So looking forward to that. We're back tomorrow, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, and the Sports Grid replay all in one today. Bonus time maybe comes back on Thursday. We'll see what happens. Dave and Matt will talk to you tomorrow for BB.